I mean, part of what we're trying to do is trying to like encourage other people to make films. So it's not like we're a strict group and no one else is allowed. In the history of film, it's like never been so easy and so cheap to make films. So we're just trying to show people that, I guess, and show people that you don't have to make crap. You can make something personal, I guess, and interesting to you. You don't have to make something that somebody else tells you to make.
Do you have a 5 or 10 year plan, or it's shorter than that?
Not really. No, I mean, I guess I was thinking about moving away to another city. I think I have enough like skills now and stuff. I could work on a film set, but at the same time, if I moved to London or like Hollywood or something like that, if I was a sound man or an editor or a cameraman, I would just be another cog in the wheel. I would be not helping at all. Not even helping a wee bit. Whereas with Michael, it's just like me and him and someone else. You know what I mean? And like if you really feel like you have an input, and you do have an input, and I just can't see that happening elsewhere. So filmmaking wise, I can't see it. I can't see me having a better life than now. I mean, if I was living in another big city, I could start definitely make the kind of documentaries. But I really feel like not at the moment. We're kind of making, or we're kind of helping to try and start something here. I feel like Belfast is a bit of a blank canvas at the moment, because most films made here are about, oh, isn't it funny how Protestants and Catholics are different, or something really stupid and political, or like a genre movie, a zombie movie or something. And I feel like the movies we were making, which are about like normal life for normal people and what they go through in like a complex modern world, rather than anything to do with religion or politics or anything like that. Just standard kind of indie movie fare. I feel like we're the only people doing that, and if we are able to encourage other people to do that, Belfast is such an interesting place that bound to make some interesting films come out of it. I don't like that would be interesting, not necessarily amazingly good, but at least interesting on like a national or international scale. I think me and Michael and Paul, we almost think it's our prerogative to do it. It's almost like our duty to do it, to help.
And if you are thinking about more international audiences or interactions, do you think being from Belfast or Northern Ireland hinders that or facilitates that?
Yeah, no, I think it helps. I mean, I think like everyone's heard of Belfast, but I wonder if they heard about the film was in Belfast, but then they heard that it wasn't about the war or religion or something. Would they then turn off about it? I don't know. But I guess part of what we're doing at the moment anyway is trying to present a Belfast. So like it's not like our films are just set nowhere. They are actually set in Belfast. The Korean film especially, and the feature length one too. So I think we are trying to do something about Belfast. So if people don't like that, I guess it's tough. But at the moment, we're gonna keep with that. We're gonna stick with that because I feel like no one else is doing that, I suppose.
So tell me about your film, the film that you worked on by yourself.
I've always kind of been obsessed, or not obsessed, but interested in cranes and how they kind of visually look, the aesthetic of it. And I had to make a short film, so I decided to make a kind of pseudo documentary. The cranes are like a good visual representation of Belfast in 2008, because Belfast is kind of changing rapidly given all this peace and foreign investment and stuff, and it's totally changing for the first time in 50 years.
Do you have a lot of opinions going into it, and did they change very much?
Well, yeah, well, obviously, I guess as like a a filmmaker or whatever, and just in general as a person, you're obviously very anti-corporate, I guess, and most ideas I had to that was just present some alternative view than the mainstream media, which is like, oh, this is good, Victoria Centre's good. So I guess I was trying to present at least what other people thought of it, which I guess going into it was some of it's bad, not all of it's good. But through the course of it, I kind of realized that like some of it's necessary, I suppose. And there's still obviously very bad things about it, but it's still in overall, I think, a positive thing for Belfast to go forward and move away from war. There's always something better than war. I think people really respond to not being told what to think. I think like most films don't do that. Most films tell you what to think and put it in a box. And at least I mean, I don't know if I was successful, but at least I tried to not do that. I think people visually respond to the cranes. I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's just everyone sees cranes in Belfast but don't really talk about it and don't really mention it to each other. Or that's what I've felt, is people have been like, oh yeah, cranes are interesting. Cranes are good to look at or whatever. I mean, even if it's just for like the 8 minutes of my film, it's good.
And are you crane obsessed now? Or when you see cranes, what do they make? What do they do to you?
You can't go through what I went through the last few months without still looking at cranes. I mean, there's the biggest crane I've ever seen in Belfast just went up like a week ago.
Oh, where is that?
Do you know where the fish is down at the Lagan? They're building like Belfast's biggest building there. It's going to be like taller than Europa, taller than Hilton and stuff.
What's it going to be? Do you know?
Well, offices and apartments. My favorite, yeah. So nothing for like ordinary people at all, and probably be half of it'll be empty given the housing crisis. So yeah, I guess I think I'll never not be impressed by the visuals of the cranes, I guess.